Hi, welcome to the video on the end of the Cold War and the collapse of Eastern Europe and the collapse of communism in Eastern Europe. So what am I going to be talking about? Well, the long-term reasons for the end of the Cold War are quite straightforward. The USSR was bankrupt. It had ruined itself by being at war with Afghanistan for so long. This was kind of like the Soviet version of Vietnam. It ruined the Soviet Union's reputation, the Red Army's reputation, cost a lot of money, and meant that they couldn't really afford to keep what they had. As a result of losing so much money, they could no longer really afford to keep the Red Army in those countries in Eastern Europe. And so those countries in Eastern Europe gradually just got themselves free of communism. In some cases, it was so simple as, for example, Czechoslovakia, they had a velvet revolution. It was a revolution that was so smooth and without bloodshed. In Hungary, it was quite easy as well. And in fact, Hungary opened its borders with Austria, which meant that people in Eastern Europe could travel all the way to Hungary to get to Austria to then go over to the West, which kind of made the Berlin Wall pointless if the people of Berlin could just get all the way to Hungary. And therefore, the Berlin Wall came down and there wasn't really anything that the communists could do to stop it. So the Berlin Wall came down and the divide between East and West was then broken. In places like Romania, where the communists were far more hardline, it was a bit more bloody, and the communist leaders, in fact, were executed in that country, in Romania. So it depends on what country in Eastern Europe you were in, whether it was a easy revolution and an ease back into or away from communism, or it was a bit more challenging. We can also look at Reagan and Gorbachev. Reagan had a big role, his peace through strength, his aggressive policies, helping to bankrupt the Soviet Union, but also Gorbachev's own policies of perestroika and glasnost, openness, being open about what they'd done in the past, led to a lot of criticism, and restructure also led to a lot of criticism and a change away from communism. So communism had got old and couldn't afford to stay in the world, and so it collapsed.